Hey, what's going on everyone? In this video, I'm doing a review of the Sony DSC-WX100 pocket camera. So let's start what comes out of the box. You got the usual stuff like warranty information, some ads, instruction manual, the camera itself, one battery, a wrist strap which I've already attached. You have a USB cord which is probably like a foot or foot and a half long. It's kind of short, but it's good enough to get the job done. This is the USB side, regular USB you can plug into your computer or into the AC adapter to charge it. This is the micro USB port, which goes into the camera itself right over here. Okay. If you want to use an HDMI cord, you have to buy that separately, and a memory card is sold separately as well. So let's go over the specs of the camera. It's an 18.2 megapixel camera as an XMOR-R CMOS sensor. It supports 10x optical zoom for picture and video. Video caps at 10x optical zoom. But for pictures, however, you can use 10x optical zoom, and then if you go over that limit, you can go up to 20x digital zoom. So digital zoom isn't that great because it's literally zooming in on the digital picture, but the option is available, and I personally see that as a bonus, so you don't have to actually use it. If you want to see some sample pictures and videos taken with this camera in daylight, low light, and at nighttime, you can find a link to that video in the description below, or an annotation link at the ending of this video. Also, in that video, I'll have a separate link linking to a file I've uploaded. That file will basically be a video which I recorded with this camera. It'll be unedited, unaltered. It'll just be directly uploaded to the internet. You guys can download the original file, play it on your TV if you have a USB media player, or if you have a 1080p monitor. Believe me, you want to use it on a 1080p device. The picture quality on this thing is absolutely fantastic. So you can download the original file and see it in all its glory. Okay. As for the back, you have a 2.7-inch LCD screen. It's not touch. The user input is simply done through button commands. The lens itself is a Sony Lens G. You can just barely see the G. There it is. And so let's start with the sides. You got nothing on the left side. On the top, you have two stereo microphone input. This is for when you're recording a video. On-off button. Zoom in and out for when you're taking pictures or video. The shutter button for taking pictures. Over on the right, you have where your wrist strap can be connected. It's optional. You have a micro HDMI port. So you need a micro HDMI to regular HDMI wire to hook it up to your TV or whatever device. At the bottom, you have a lock to hold the latch for the memory card and battery. And just lock that back up. The micro USB port I already showed you. This is where the tripod would fit in. Okay, over on the back, I'm actually gonna, let me show you how small the device is first. Let me just quickly show you. This is my Nexus 4 device. Look how tiny this camera is. So in order to demonstrate what these buttons do at the back, it's easier to turn the device on. So if you have it set to the top notch here, it takes pictures. If you set it to the middle, it'll switch to panorama mode, as you can see. And if you switch to the bottom, it switches to video recording mode. Now there is a dedicated video recording button, and you can use that in any function here. So you might be wondering, what's the purpose of the movie notch at the bottom? That's for when you want to change the video recording options through the menu button here. Okay, so this menu will change depending on which option you select here. So let's go through pictures first. This swivel here rotates. It's basically you can access a whole bunch of features. You have auto. It's basically an auto mode. It takes the pictures for you, and it pretty much renders pictures almost instantly. This is superior auto mode, and it basically takes about 1 to 2 seconds to render and complete the image processing because the picture quality is higher. Program mode is, of course, more manual. You can access more additional options, and the same swivel thing I was showing you can be accessed through the menu with this button. If you go down, some options will always stay the same. Like easy basically means increasing this text size bigger. The picture quality, this is how bright you want to set the picture. Whoops. Or how dark. And as you can tell, this is up, right, down, left, and the middle button to select. ISO goes from 100 up to a huge 12,800. You have like white balance, if you're taking pictures under, say, a fluorescent light, stuff like that. I can't go into every single function. It'll make this video about half an hour to 40 minutes long, so I do apologize, but I want to make sure you guys get the general idea. Focus mode, Remember, you can pause the video at any point to read the captions that show up here. Metering mode, you have 3 to choose from. Continuous shooting, you can have it set so that it's you'll take 10 shots per second or 2 shots per second. Smile shutter is like if someone's smiling, it'll automatically take a picture. I turned it off. And the smile sensitivity, you can set it. Face detection for child or adult or auto or off. I choose off. You can set the actual video quality of recording, and as you can see, it records at 1920 by 1080 at 60i. So it's basically 1080 60i interlaced. And this is, you can change the picture quality, because you can take pictures while recording a video, so you can actually adjust how much quality you want the picture to be while while recording a video. Steady is basically anti-shake, so you have normal and you have high shake mode. It'll try to reduce how shaky the camera movement is when you're recording a video. In-camera guide, I'll show you how to access that even faster. And this menu is basically to change these sounds. See that, the noise? So when you're not viewing your pictures, you press this question mark. That's how you quickly access the in-camera guide. So you got the instructions in here. It's just a nice feature that Sony has designed that's built in. Obviously, if you want to see your pictures, you hit the play button. Okay, hit it again to get rid of it. So you have continuous shooting mode here. If you press it down, you have a self-timer mode. Pressing it on the right is the flash mode. And up is setting the display with all this information here. Okay, so like I said, I can't go through all these features because it's too many. I will actually demonstrate some of these features in the sample video. You guys can see some of them. You can take pictures for 3D TVs. What else do we have? Whoops. This is scenery mode. You have a ton of options here. Most of the time, if you're just a person that uses a camera on just the fly, you won't have to use these options too often. But you got some great options here for low lighting at nighttime. If you're on the beach, if there's too much white, like when there's snow, it'll try to autocorrect anything that you might need. Okay, so this is picture effect mode. This is really neat. It has some like preset picture modes, and background defocus is basically it kind of gives you like this effect. Like if say my finger's here, it'll focus on my finger and make everything else in the background blur. So you can see my monitor, it'll blur. But this is only good when the object is 30 centimeters or closer. The camera records in 1080 60i, which is pretty fantastic. But the problem is that the video files are MTS file formats. Now, there are a lot of media players out there for the computer or media players for your TV that play it just fine. But for some people, it might be a little bit tricky finding good media players to play MTS. But let me tell you this, it is extremely sharp. As for the battery, the box says it takes about 240 pictures per 1 battery charge, which is about right. I would say that's pretty accurate. As for recording videos, I would say the battery lasts about an hour and 15 minutes roughly while recording a video. And one thing is you guys have to realize is that record videos for 30 minutes straight. So if you want to record a very long clip, you press the movie button, it'll record it for 30 minutes and then stop. The camera doesn't turn off, but the recording stops. I believe that if it goes beyond 30 minutes, it'll be classified as a camcorder, and companies like Sony get charged more tax, something like that. But for a pocket camera, that's a lot. A lot of other cameras by like Canon, Nikon, they don't even go past 10 minutes sometimes. So this is a pretty good camcorder, but just be aware that it stops at 30 minutes. So when it reaches 30 minutes, just hit the record button again. And one thing you do is if you're recording continuously, I noticed, say for 30 minutes, I record continuously, it'll split the file into segments when I put it back on my computer. So basically what happens is you get 3 clips out of 30 minutes. It divides it up every 2 gigs. The videos, if you play them back to back, will play perfectly fine, but you have to be aware that it's not just one large 30-minute clip. It'll split into a 2 gig clip, a 2 gig clip, and then I think another 400 megabytes, something like that, for 30 minutes of recording nonstop. Because this is a pocket camera, this should be very obvious to you. You can't use the flash while recording a video. I just have to mention that. It should be that should be like common sense, but I just wanted to make sure you guys are aware of it. I really wish I could demonstrate some more features of the camera for you guys, but unfortunately make this video too long. So if you want to check out some of the special picture options like the preset themes, you know, making your picture look like a painting or something, be sure to check out that sample picture and video which I'll be uploading on YouTube as mentioned. You can find the links all around. But let's break the review down into its final rating, shall we? If I had to give this camera a rating, I would give it a 4.5 out of a 5. And here's why. The pros of the device is that it's really compact. Just look how small it is compared to my hand. And I even demonstrated it when I compared it to my phone. It's thicker than my phone, that's for sure, but its length and width is significantly smaller. This is true to the name pocket camera. The interface itself takes a little bit of learning, maybe a few minutes or a couple of tries, and when you do, man, this thing is fast. It's really responsive. There's no lag at all, which I'm really happy about. Picture quality is pretty decent. It's a pocket camera, so you can't expect the most amazing pictures in the world, but it's good for a pocket camera, let's put it that way. The greatest strength in this camera is in its video recording, and here's why. If you download the sample original video that I take with this camera, which I told you guys can download, or if you purchase this camera and you play back the file, you'll notice that the video will look like it's playing back in fast forwarded mode. It's actually not. It just, what's happening is that it's recording at a pace similar to real life motion. Let's put it that way. When you watch a TV show or a movie, it's actually not even like half of real life motion speed. It's actually really, really slow. It looks normal, but trust me, if you play back videos from this, it'll look a lot better and smoother. There are many picture themes to choose from, as I told you guys. You know, you can make your picture look like a painting, you can make colors pop, stuff like that. So a lot of preset themes in here, nicely done. It supports 10x optical zoom, which is pretty high for such a small pocket camera. Now you have digital zoom for pictures up to 20x. Now digital zoom isn't great, but personally I see that as a bonus, which is actually another pro. Sony didn't have to do that, but they did. I personally see that as a good thing. And for a pocket camera, as mentioned, many pocket cameras stop recording a continuous video at 10 or 15 minutes. This camera goes up to 30, which is really rare for a pocket camera. So I have to say that's a big bonus right there. You don't have to buy a camcorder, buy this. You can use it for pictures and videos, and that's all you really need. But there are some cons with this device. The first is not a big one, but I have to mention it for you guys. It records videos in MTS file format, as mentioned, and it's a little tricky to play, but once you play it back, you're gonna get such great video quality. Also, you cannot recharge the camera and take pictures and videos at the same time. When the camera is plugged into your computer or to a power outlet, all you can do is either let the camera charge, or you can play your recorded videos or take in pictures. Unfortunately, you can't record and take pictures while it's charging. And the last con is you can't adjust the shutter speed. Now I know that's not a big feature for pocket cameras, but it is a feature that's starting to be implemented slowly in other pocket cameras, and this one is missing it. So I just had to mention it. So they're not big cons, but they are present. I want to make sure you guys are aware of it. Still a fantastic camera, I really recommend. And that's pretty much it. If you found this video useful, check out my website in the description below. Hit the like button, it does help. Subscribe, and thanks for watching.